Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all doing well and having a fantastic week. In today's video, I wanted to tell you how you can care for an older bird. Of course, we all want our birds to live a really long, happy and healthy life, and part of that is looking after them when they reach their golden years. So I wanted to give you some tips and tricks for older birds, but of course, the key to having a happy and healthy, long-lived bird is looking after their health throughout their life. So first up, let's talk about your parrot's joints. Of course, as birds get older, like many animals, they may develop things like arthritis or just sore joints. So there are things that you can do, of course, to help with those, and some of those are natural supplements. Now, something that's already in our first aid kit that we always have on hand is cayenne pepper. This is awesome because it is a natural, mild painkiller and anti-inflammatory. And then we also have turmeric as well. Again, a great anti-inflammatory and has antioxidants as well. If you can have access to the turmeric root, then that's awesome. You can use that, you can graze it up and things. But if you can only get powders like me, then that's okay too. And they're just good to have on hand just in case you need them. The next thing to look out for is your bird's weight. Now, it really is individual dependent. Some older birds will lose a lot of weight, some older birds will retain a lot of weight. So it's good to always know your bird's baseline weight. And of course, if you ever notice a change in your bird's weight and you're concerned, please do take them to an avian vet. But having a record of your bird's weight and being able to feel their keel bone as well will also give you an indicator of their body condition. And it's really important to look at with older birds, as we know they will hide signs of illness until it's kind of really serious. Now, in terms of the cage setup, we do this anyway, but some of the things that you can offer your bird for extra comfort are things like platform perches. You can get like shelf perches and things like that. You can have sisal rope. You can use cotton rope if your bird doesn't chew it, but we prefer to err on the side of caution and not use it at all. But sisal rope or things like that that are nice and soft to your bird's feet, as well as some harder perches, of course, for keeping their nails in check and good foot health, are really awesome because it's just going to give your bird more options for comfort. Again, we never ever recommend cozy huts or happy huts. Your bird doesn't need that. They will be fine with a shelf and other ways to rest their feet. Now, of course, as birds get older, they are more prone to different kind of age-related illnesses, and one of the things that you may want to look out for are your bird developing cataracts. Now, this is where the lens of the eye goes all cloudy and it obstructs their vision, so they may have more difficulty navigating around and things like that. You may see kind of balance issues and things. So again, any change in your bird's overall health, do make sure you go and get them checked out, because these things need to be found when you can, and then you can modify their surroundings to make it a lot easier for them to navigate. Fun fact, if you didn't know already, I was actually born with cataracts. It's normally an age-related thing, but some people like me were actually born with them, so they removed them when I was a baby, and now I don't have any lenses in my eyes, which is why my glasses are so big. So if you didn't know that, then there you go. But most animals, whether that be birds or others, humans as well, will develop cataracts or things like that when they are older. So it's always good to make sure you're giving the bird a nice body check when you are checking them over. Make sure those eyes are nice and healthy, and also they are navigating their space with ease. Now, as well as potential health changes, you may also notice some behavioural changes as your bird gets older. So things like them becoming slightly less active, maybe less vocal as well, and also sleeping more are all usually kind of normal for older birds. But again, I'm going to stress this throughout this video. If you're ever unsure about any kind of changes in your bird's behaviour or overall health, please do just get them checked out. It's better for you and them, just to give you peace of mind that they're okay. Or if they do need any help, at least you've got them to a vet so that you can get that assistance. And as I say in every video when I mention vets, if you need any help finding an avian vet where you are in the world, please drop me a comment, DM, message, email, whatever, and I will do my very best to help you find an avian vet where you are in the world. It's important that your bird sees a special vet, a bird vet, so they can get all of the treatment they need. Now, as I mentioned at the start of the video, looking after your bird throughout their life is of course important because it sets them up for success when they do get older. But if you are taking on an older bird, or perhaps you just want to change things up, ensuring that your bird has good nutrition is going to keep them happier and healthier for longer. Now, it is never too late to start diet conversion. You can always start even with an older bird, but we always say please go slowly. Don't just do a drastic change, because that can cause all kinds of problems, from stress behaviours to upset tummies and birds just not wanting to eat. So make sure when you're doing diet conversion you go nice and slow. I've got a video on how to get your bird to eat vegetables, which you might find useful, And always regularly weigh your bird. Again, that's important every day anyway, but also for your bird's body condition, so you can make sure they're actually eating what you're offering them. Although, as we say as well, sometimes if the birds have been on a less desirable diet, sometimes a little bit of weight change may actually be useful for them. But again, always check in with your vet if you want any clarification on your bird's body condition or how they're doing. Now, another thing that's going to have a good impact on your bird's overall health is lots of exercise. Again, I have a video on how to give your bird exercise. It's not just flight, there are lots of other things that you can do for your bird to keep them moving and using different kinds of muscles. And that's really important because you're keeping your bird nice and healthy and active, and that's going to keep them healthier for longer. And one of the other cool things that you can do, which is kind of low intensity if you do have quite an old bird, is just some stretches. Some nice gentle stretches. You can get them to reach up high for a treat, reach down below for a treat, all different kinds of things like that. Even asking them to wave is using different muscles and using their feet and things. So do get creative with your exercise plan with your birds, but do have it, you know, at the forefront of your mind that they do need to keep moving even when they are older, because it is going to benefit them, even if they're going to be less active than when they were spring chickens. Now, as I mentioned, it is possible that when our birds get older, they may develop health conditions and health problems. And what's really important is to catch them as quick as we can so we can get them any treatment that they may need. So it's really important to know the signs of a sick bird. And as I mentioned, because they are prey animals, they're more likely to hide that from us until it's kind of last minute, last resort, they're doing really bad. So if you can recognize those subtle signs before that, you are gonna hopefully be able to catch anything quickly, and then your bird's gonna be able to get help. So again, we have lots of different resources on our website, Best Behaved Birds. We have a blog section, and we have a whole blog all about how to recognize different signs and symptoms of a sick bird. So again, loads of links in the description after this video for different resources, so make sure you check them out as well. As birds get older, they may actually also need a little bit of extra warmth. Now, most birds do just fine at room temperature when they're indoors, and that is totally fine. But as they get older, they need a bit of extra warmth to help keep them warm as well, because they run at a higher body temperature than we do as humans. They run at about 40 degrees, 40.3 I think it is, whereas we are kind of 37.5. So they do run slightly higher in warmth, so that sometimes they do need a little bit of extra warmth. I would recommend maybe using like a heat lamp or something like that, which needs to obviously be secured so they can't chew any wires, but something that keeps them just a little bit warmer is going to help them to feel more comfortable as well. And when they're more comfortable, they're more likely to exhibit normal behaviours like being active and eating and wanting to interact with you as well. Do double check any kind of heating system you use before offering it to your bird. Of course, we don't want to offer them anything that may have non-stick coatings on there, because that is going to be toxic for them. So if you want any advice, do drop me a comment. I will do my best to find out if something is bird safe for you. But do just double check anything you offer your birds at any point, just to be safe, because these little creatures are sensitive and we want to make sure that they are living as long as possible and in a happy and healthy way. And the final point I wanted to make today kind of leads into signs of a sick bird, but it's really important to monitor your bird's poops regularly, because again, they can be a telltale sign that something might not be right. And again, these health problems could be related to your bird getting older, things like kidney and liver issues, cardiovascular. Sometimes all of these things can show up in the poop. So do make sure you're checking them regularly. Again, I have a video all about poop and some suggestions as to what could be going on. But as I've said all throughout this video, if you're ever unsure or something's different, just get your bird straight to a vet, because then at least you're going to find out the actual answer instead of, you know, waiting and seeing if something's happening. You want to get your bird there straight away so that you can deal with anything that may be happening. So that brings me to the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed learning how you can look after an older bird. If you have any other tips, or you have an older bird and you've learned different ways that you can help them, please do let me know down in the comments, as I would love to speak to you. If you do have an older bird, let me know what species they are, how old they are. I would love to hear from you as well, because we want our birds to be nice, happy, healthy and long-lived. So thank you so much for watching, and from me, Pickles P and Scampi Do, take care and see you later.